Let me make sure it's connecting on Facebook. It's thinking. Perfect. Yay, we're live. Hello, good morning, Medicare folks. Gabrielle here, the admin. If you've never met me or seen my face before, I'm extremely excited because I think this is perfect timing for us to have a demo with Jane today. And if you've been following me or if you've been in the group for a minute, you know how much I love Jane. And I'm super excited that we are able to do this. So if you're joining us live, feel free to drop any questions in the chat. I will keep an eye on them. And then I'm here with Leanne, who will be doing the demo for us, and Lauren from Jane Partnerships as well. So if there's any questions about Jane, we're going to focus a lot on insurance, of course, today, and Medicare, and anything else that you guys need. So feel free to drop your questions. If you're watching the replay, very important, put hashtag replay so that we get notified. We know that you saw it and we can come back and answer any of your questions. So we are going to get started. And Leanne, I will let you take it away if you're ready.
Hello, everyone. My name is Leanne, and I'm just going to quickly share my screen right here. And can everyone see this right here? Perfect. So, as I said, my name is Leanne, and I'm a Jane product specialist. I have been with Jane for the past 2 years. I'm a member of the support team, so when you call in, there's a good chance you'll get me. And one of my focuses has been both insurance as well as I focus on specifically on US insurance and mental health. And then today we're going to be talking about how Jane can support mental health clinics billing Medicare. And we're just going to take a quick look at Jane. And Jane is an all-in-one practice management software. It will help you and allow you to do online booking for your clients. It has easy scheduling, it does billing, and as well, you're able to do charting through Jane. Specifically today, we're going to be looking at scheduling, including a new time zone feature that we've recently introduced. We're then going to be looking at charting really quick from a day sheet, which if you are a sole practitioner and you're charting from your day sheet, you're also able to easily update all of your billing codes. And then finally, we're going to focus a little bit more on all of the different insurance features and some of the special steps for submitting to Medicare. And so I'm just going to hop over. I'm going to just hop over really quickly right now to our demo clinic. And in our demo clinic right now, I am signed in as a client named Maya. Maya is actually also our counselor, but I just wanted to show you that if I click as a client to book a session, I'm going to just go ahead and click here. You can see it's showing in my time zone. My time zone is PST, but if you are in PST, EST, whatever your clinic is based, and your client is in another time zone, they do have the ability to change their time zones. So I'm just going to click here on my account, and this is still in Maya's client portal. So she's able to go down here. She can select the time zone that she lives in. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to, I'm going to go, I'll just go to Denver. And once I click on save, it's now going to adjust and show the time zone that Maya is in specifically. So if she goes ahead to book an appointment, and I'll just go ahead and jump into our one clinic. Now, when I go to a subsequent visit, it's now showing in Maya's preferred time zone. So I'll just go ahead and click it. And it just all shows that it's going to be everything for Maya as a client is going to be sent now in MST, which is her time zone rather than the clinic's PST. So I'm just going to go ahead and book that and click save. So With an important thing with the time zone feature is it will update, as I said a couple times now, for the client. It'll be in the email reminders, and as well as any other types of notifications. But if I hop into the actual clinic, which I'm going to do just now right now as Maya. So here, scheduled in MST, but you can see right here, I'm just going to go to the schedule page. She actually scheduled her appointment on my schedule as Maya, the practitioner. She is scheduled in PST because that is the clinic's time zone. So every time when you are, when you are corresponding, you would want to just be a little cognizant of what time zone they are working in. But all of it, yeah, it makes it a lot easier for those online sessions if they are in a different time zone. So that is our new time zone feature. But I just wanted to focus a little bit more um, on our insurance features today. And I'm going to click right here on David Rose. David Rose he's coming in for an initial session. And when he comes in, I can see right here, he told me that he's going to be an insurance client. Would be able to come down here. He hasn't added his policy information yet, so it could be that he didn't fill out his intake form. But I'm able to just easily click on here, click add a new policy. I would choose his insurer, in this case, Medicare. I do have to enter in his member identification number right away. That's the only thing that is required, although I do have additional information that I can add in. Quite often with Medicare, you'll need a prior authorization number, which you can add in here as well. And then you're able to add in other policy information as needed. By default, it is set to self, but you can choose if it is another family member. You're also able to go in and record and set up like what their maximum is, how many sessions they can do. And then as well, you would want to set if it's a signature on file and accept assignment. You can set this up to be default always yes, or you can do it manually. Then as well, you're able to enter in any dates of current illness or injuries, any referral information, anything like that is right down here. And then finally, if there are default coverage amounts, so if they know what their copay is or what their co-insurance is, you are able to enter that in and it would be automatically added and calculated for any sessions that they do come in for. I'm going to set David, he has a copay of, we'll say $25. So just like that, I would be able to save. You can now see that it has added in a policy for him, and it's showing that will be billing Medicare $75 for this particular session because we haven't added any billing codes yet. And the copay down here is already showing as a client total of $25. So you do have the ability as well to enter in billing codes and insurance information with diagnosis codes modifiers right here in the appointment panel. So we can do 90837. It'll pull up all of my codes right here. I can select which code. I'm going to do this one right here, 90837. And then I can also add in my diagnosis code. If I know what the diagnosis code is, I can search it either by the actual code, or I can search it as well by a keyword and pull it up and then just click on it. So I'll just click right there. And you can see it's now updated my policy. It's now changed here that we're going to be billing Medicare instead of $75, $110. And that is because what you can also do is you can set up billed amount for what your billing amount is and allowed amount per insurer. So we're only expecting Medicare to pay 135, so we would enter in our allowed amount. So we know that that's what we would base the co-insurance on, and that's also this will be the amount that's tracked in our accounts receivable going in as well. And this is when you're building, blocking in and booking first visits. But you can also, when you go ahead and you schedule in a recurring patient. So I'm going to schedule one right here. I'm going to select a session for subsequent visit. And my client today is going to be Moira Rose. So I can add her in. And because has been in before, I have the option here of choosing what type of information I wanted to have booked in on her insurance info at the time of booking. I can select to add no policy. I can add just her Medicare policy, or I also have the option because she was in for a visit previously. I can choose to copy previous, and this will pull through both my billing codes and as well as any policies that I've attached to the visit before. So I'm going to choose copy previous. I'm going to book the appointment. And you can see when I scroll down to the insurance info section, it's pulled all of that information through automatically. So I only had to enter it into my appointment panel initially. And after that, I always have the option to copy previous visits when going from one visit to the next visit. Then as well, if I wanted to change the units, for example, for this one right here, even though I copied a previous, I can go in, I can change my quantity if needed. If I wanted to change the billing code or even just remove the billing code, I also do have that option. Because when you copy previous, it just autofills it, but it's still editable. Okay, so then with this one, the next thing we're gonna go take a look at is, this is when you're booking on the schedule and administratively, you would be able to access the appointment panel and add the policies in. But if you are a sole practitioner, most of the time you would probably be operating in your day sheet right here. And with your day sheet, you have it makes it a little bit easier to access different appointments. We're going to go ahead and we're going to actually click on this 1 p.m. appointment with Lance Daisy. So when I click on it, right away I am taken to Lance's chart page, and it'll show, and this just makes it so that I don't have to click through different pages and open different windows or different tabs to access different information. When I would come in here, I would see all of Lance's previous chart entries. And from here, I'm able to start a new chart entry. So I'll just click on here, and I'm actually going to choose my new therapy progress note template. And so through here, I'm able to go in and answer, fill out my chart template as usual. So I'll do attentive and cooperative. Just say I filled, we're going to discontinue with the goal. And finally, we're going to come down to this section right here. And I just wanted to show when I clicked on the appointment one time, I opened up his charting page. When I opened up click on his appointment a second time, that appointment panel also showed up. Lance let me know as well that he does have insurance. And I'm just going to take a look down here. I want to add his policy. And I can see that he already added his insurance policy, most likely through completing an intake form. So I can just click on it right here and add the policy. So it's appearing. And right here we can see all of the area to add the billing code. Rather than adding the billing code into the appointment panel, we do have a feature that when you are charting, you are able to add them easily into your chart. And then it will also allow you to edit your billing codes right in your appointment panel. So I'm just going to go ahead and click in. And by typing in that hashtag symbol, that is telling Jane you're about to enter a code. And once again, I just like this 90837, so I'm just going to go ahead and select that. So I'm just typing the code in, and I can select it right there. I can add in my diagnosis code as well. Once again, just doing that one with a keyword. So this has now added the codes into my chart note. And what I'm also able to do is then scroll to the bottom of my chart note and click on edit my billing codes. I'm just going to close this up right here, but I just want to show you this is empty here in the insurance info section. When I click on here, here's my billing codes that I added just above in my chart note. I'm able to select all, and then when I go ahead, I'm going to go and click on update billing, and it's let me know that it updated it in the insurance info section. So when I go ahead and click here, you can see that it automatically pushed my billing codes from my chart note straight into my insurance info section. So I don't need to go ahead and enter it like repeatedly into different areas. I'm able to enter it once into my chart notes, and then with a couple quick clicks. Sorry about that. A couple quick clicks, I can go ahead and push it right through to my billing info section. And once everything is in your billing info and in your insurance info, this is how Jane starts building your claims for you. So if I would go ahead and arrive this appointment, so if I go ahead and arrive, you can go and you can see that we have a Medicare invoice created that's showing unpaid. Lance is also showing unpaid. And if I scroll up to here, we can see that Lance is owing $25 right now. And it is showing that our Medicare claim is currently sitting as unsubmitted. Um, if I choose to right now, because it is a copay, Lance knows that he's going to be paying 25. That is his responsibility. Right away, I can go ahead and click pay. I can see that there's his copay right there, copay, and it's his invoice. And I can scroll through and I can collect payment right away from Lance. And there, so now Lance has paid for his $25, his copay, so he's no longer owing. And with Medicare, that claim is now sitting and waiting in our unsubmitted folder for us to get ready to submit to our clearinghouse. So I'm just going to close this here. Before I leave this section, I did just want to show you something as well with our charting. As you can see here with other visits, this visit doesn't have a little lock icon, whereas this visit here does. This little lock icon is showing that chart has been started for the session, but it's in draft mode. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to assign Lance's chart just with a couple clicks like that. And you can see it's now closed up my little lock right there. And it's giving me, that visual indication that this particular session, the chart has been signed. I can see as well that the client paid their copay. And as well, it's letting me know that he does have a Medicare insurance policy connected to this account. What I'm going to do next is we're just going to go take a quick look at going through and how the insurance now works. So I'm just going to go quickly over to Lance's billing page. You can see right here, he has his two invoices. There's his client invoice showing paid. His insurance invoice is showing that it is unsubmitted. So this is where we can see individually what claims a client has still outstanding. But we're going to go ahead and submit this claim. And to do that, we would go into our billing section and we would go down into where we do have claim submissions. And here we have one, all of our claims that are unsubmitted would be right here. I'm just going to go ahead and filter specifically for Maya. And right there. And I'm going to look for Lance's claim right here. So here we have a specific claim. We have Lance's claim right here. And as well, we have Gail's claim right here. And to submit to our clearinghouse, we would just select our two claims. And I can tell just by looking at this that Lance's claim will be ready to be submitted to a clearinghouse, whereas Gail's won't be ready to be submitted. I can see that right now because there's no procedures or diagnosis codes. But when I click here on Submit Selected Claims, it's going to allow me on the review summary page to not only see that there is missing information, but then also I'm able to scroll down and it's going to even show me exactly what type of information is missing. And it looks actually like I'm missing quite a bit for this specific claim to go through. Oh, even for Lance's actually. He didn't put in his address. So I'm going to go ahead and actually click another one that should go through. So I'm going to go to, sorry, I'm going to go to Jorge right here. His claim as well. Sorry, this is just going to go. And sorry about that. As you can see, it does let you know what still needs to be filled out. I'm just going to go take a look at a different location because Maya was working at other locations. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna go take a look with this one right here, also Medicare and with Aetna, not with Aetna, but if I click on submitted claims, this one works. So this one had all of the relevant information. While she hadn't put in her NPI for the other location, she has for this location. So it is showing me that she is ready to submit. I've got all of her place of service codes, her billing codes, and her diagnosis codes are all appearing. And then I would be able to just click here and generate a submission for the one claim. You can do submissions for up to 25 claims at a time, so you don't have to always do them one by one. Once you do generate your claim submissions, that would be creating an EDI file to be submitted to your clearinghouse. Jane has a integration with ClaimMD. So if you do have the integration set up, it would automatically send all of your claims directly to ClaimMD. You don't have to do anything until you receive the remittance back from ClaimMD, and they will automatically upload it into your remittance sections. We do also work with 3 other clearinghouses, which are Trizetto, Office Ally, and Availity. With those 3, you would need to download the EDI file, download it to your computer, log into that clearinghouse portal and upload it. And then as well, once you receive a remittance, you would have to download it from the clearinghouse and upload it into Jane to go and reconcile. So it is a little bit more, it's still a partial integration, but you are acting a little bit more as a delivery person in that case. Finally, we're going to take a quick look here at remittances. And today we don't have any remittances in our demo clinics that are showing that are Medicare specific. Oh, wait, sorry, I spoke too soon. There is one right there. So we're going to go ahead with the remittance. We'll go through. We received a direct deposit from Medicare, so we do still need to go in and record that we received the payment. So we'll select payment, and I'm going to do that payment. I'll record our payment session right there. We'll then go to review responses. And here we're able to see that we received one Medicare claim response. We'll click on view right here. This shows us what all of the deductibles are, any copays, and as well what the insurer paid. And when we scroll on down, we can see that the information that was in the EOB is also coming and getting pulled through down here into our insurer invoice. So we just have to make sure that, numbers all look good. You can even just generally scroll quickly through. And once we apply the changes, it has marked our insurer invoice as approved and also records the payment. We still have our client invoice. They still have the outstanding balance of $103. And then we would charge our client directly for that. So that was a little bit of whirlwind tour of how to submit claims when Medicare is the primary insurance. But I just wanted to hop over here to our schedule page, and we do have one right here. This is Heather May, and when you can see on her appointment right there, it's already saying Medicare and Aetna. So she not only has primary insurance, she also has a secondary policy with Aetna. When we go ahead and we can see that she has her billing code already added. I'm just going to go ahead and add in my very famous anxiety diagnosis code. And right down here, it starts calculating already what the amounts are that they're going to start billing the insurance. So we can see here with Medicare, the 90837 code, it has a billed amount of $100. We're going to be billing them $100 because they don't have any different allowed amount entered. But if we go down here, with Aetna, which is secondary, we can see they do have an allowed amount of 70. So right now it looks like we will be billing both Medicare and Aetna the full amounts that are allowable. But when we go ahead, and I'm just going to arrive this session right here. And when we go to submit this one right now is sitting in our unsubmitted folder. Our Aetna one is currently sitting in our waiting on primary folder, which is a folder just so any secondary claims will sit there until you receive your primary remittance back. And with most insurance companies, so like Aetna, Blue Cross, all of them, what happens is you submit your primary claim. You then will receive a remittance from them, and then you then go ahead and submit to that secondary. Medicare is a little bit different, that they will actually submit to your secondary on your behalf. And in Jane, we do have a feature that you can toggle on that will tell Jane that when you submit to Medicare, that it will automatically submit to Aetna as well. The claim will still sit in the waiting on primary, but you won't have to resubmit that claim once you have received the primary remittance. So it does go through automatically, which is a nice little feature with Medicare. But yeah, that's kind of a little bit our whirlwind tour. I was just wondering if there were any questions that popped up about submitting to Medicare specifically.
I don't think any specific questions at this time. Like I know Gabs, like you are also the Medicare expert and Liz. Do you have anything to add onto those pieces?
I have one question, and this is kind of nuanced, so let
Hmm.
me know. But a lot of times with Medicare, clients will have a supplemental claim. They'll have like a supplemental insurance that will pick up the co-insurance. And Medicare automatically will forward that, but is there a way to like just document that easily in Jane when that supplemental insurance pays? Like I don't know if it connects and it will automatically do that or if you have to go in and manually do that.
Okay, so that would be like with this one where
Okay.
you would add in a supplementary insurance as that secondary policy.
Okay, perfect.
And that's when Medicare would go ahead, you submit to Medicare, they process it. Um, they would send you back the remittance about the primary, and then they would submit that secondary claim
Mhm.
on your behalf. And then you would receive that secondary remittance back, and Jane will track that.
Oh,
As soon
perfect.
as we receive the remittance here and approve for your Medicare claim,
Mhm.
um, this claim would change from waiting on primary and it would automatically move into your submitted folder because it's recognized that Medicare submitted it on your behalf. And then it'll just be waiting for you. You'll then be waiting in for that remittance from the supplemental.
That is super helpful because in other EMRs that I've used, it doesn't track the supplemental. And so it just adds more work to try and track those down. So I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It makes it much easier.
it's a little feature here right here. I'm just hopping into the settings and going down to our insurers and Medicare. And it's right down here. You can have it you can toggle it on. By default, it's not turned on because Medicare is currently the only insurer I know that does this automatically, but you would toggle it on and click save, and then Jane will track that it will submit to that supplemental for you.
Yes, I love that so much. Thank you for showing us that, Leanne.
You're welcome. Any other questions that popped up? I know it's a bit of a quick tour through.
Yeah, what we often find too is people will watch the replay and ask questions, and then I can kind of replay them back to you and we can help them out there, but not at this time. So you can keep going. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so if that kind of is about it, so what I'll just do is I'll hop back over. Sorry, I just gotta move my camera right here. So if we go ahead and just gonna go back to our slideshow. So we've gone through the questions. So yeah, so if you would like to continue the conversation, you can go ahead and join our Jane community by scanning the QR code, and we'll be able to answer any other questions you do have that do pop up. If you do opt to join us at Jane, we're always happy to have you, and we also have a code that you can enter at the time of your sign up for a 1 month grace period, which is GJB Consulting 1MO. And then as well, yeah, as I said, if you have any other questions, you can pop them up into Facebook, or as well, you can contact our Jane team directly by shooting us an email at support@jane.app. Okay. Yeah, that is it for me today.
Thank you both so much for being here with us this morning. As always, if anybody is watching the replay of this and you have questions, feel free to just put them below and put hashtag replay, and we'll come back and make sure that we answer them for you. And I will also put the link in my grace period code in the chat below as well. And I also just want to plug this a little bit too, is that Jane has a really amazing Facebook community. So if you're thinking about joining Jane or you're a Jane user, please get in that Facebook group. They're extremely, extremely responsive. Like they comment right away. And it's just amazing to see that. So I just want to plug that too, that if you have questions or if you're feeling a little bit lost or confused, that is a really, really good resource to use as well.
Amazing. Thanks so much for having us, Gabs. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.